Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Let's talk ASMR.
Okay.
You know those
Okay.
videos with the whispering, the tapping, the crinkling?
Yeah.
They're everywhere online.
Yeah.
People swear by them for relaxation, better sleep even,
Mm.
even managing stress. But what's the science behind it all? Today we're going beyond those anecdotal testimonials.
Mm.
We're joined by our expert to unpack two fascinating research studies that take us inside the world of ASMR and how it affects our brains.
Yeah, it's a fascinating field for sure. We're moving beyond just the does this work and
Yeah.
digging into the how and the why.
Exactly, and that's what makes these two studies so intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
The first one used brain scans to compare what happens when we listen to ASMR sounds versus something like classical music,
Okay.
kind of like an ASMR versus Mozart showdown happening right there in your head.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a great way to isolate what might be unique about ASMR, even when we strip away the visuals that often come with it.
So did they find anything? Is there a difference in how our brains respond to those whispering voices and gentle taps?
You bet there is. The study found that both classical music and ASMR sounds lit up areas of the brain linked to pleasure and relaxation, which isn't all that surprising.
Okay,
But here's where it gets really interesting.
okay.
The ASMR sounds actually activated a wider network of brain regions, including a key player known as the medial prefrontal cortex, or MPFC for short.
Okay, the MPFC, remind us why that one's so important again.
Well, the MPFC is like the social hub of your brain.
Okay.
It's heavily involved in how we interact with others, how we regulate our emotions, and even plays a role in releasing oxytocin, that cuddle hormone that makes us feel all warm and fuzzy.
So when we listen to ASMR and that MPFC lights up, it's like our brain is getting a virtual hug.
That's a great way to put it. This finding could actually explain why a lot of people say ASMR helps them sleep. The study authors suggest that ASMR might be tapping into some of the same brain circuitry involved in feeling socially connected and cared for, which can be incredibly calming and soothing.
It's like having a friend whisper you to sleep, even if it's just through your headphones. I can see how that would be super relaxing.
Yeah.
Speaking of sleep, wasn't there another part of the brain this study looked at?
Absolutely. The researchers also pointed to the thalamus, which acts as our brain's sensory relay station.
Okay.
It plays a crucial role in processing sensory information like those gentle tapping sounds and directing it to other parts of the brain, including the areas that regulate our sleep-wake cycles.
So even without those signature ASMR tingles, some people experience just listening to these sounds might be creating a distinct brain state that's different from simply listening to classical music.
That's what this study suggests, which is pretty remarkable. It seems that ASMR might have its own unique way of interacting with our brains, particularly when it comes to relaxation and potentially even sleep. But this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, so we've got ASMR lighting up our brain's social hub and maybe even helping us catch some Z's. But get this, the second study we're diving into throws a bit of a curveball.
It really does. This one asks a pretty wild question. What if ASMR isn't inherently relaxing at all?
Wait, hold on. What do you mean? Isn't that like the whole point of ASMR? Those videos are like audio-visual NyQuil.
Right, that's the common
Yeah.
perception. But these researchers wondered if ASMR might actually amplify whatever emotion you're already feeling.
Okay.
So it's not that the sounds themselves are calming, but they kind of turn up the volume on whatever's already going on in your emotional world.
Okay, now that's interesting. So how did they test that? I mean, do they like strap you to a chair and force you to watch a horror movie marathon while someone whispers in your ear?
Not quite, but they did show people different types of videos right before playing those signature ASMR tapping sounds.
Okay.
Some videos were super chill and relaxing, others were totally neutral, like watching paint dry,
Right.
and then some were designed to be kind of creepy and unsettling.
So they're priming people with different emotional states and then hitting them with the ASMR. What happened? Did it work?
The results were pretty amazing, actually. When people watched the relaxing videos followed by the tapping, they reported feeling even more relaxed and their ASMR sensations were stronger. No big shocker there, right?
Yeah, that seems pretty intuitive. Relaxing vibes plus relaxing sounds equals extra relaxation.
Exactly. But here's the kicker.
Okay.
When they paired those same tapping sounds with the scary videos, people actually felt more scared and less relaxed.
Whoa, seriously. You mean the same sound that can make you feel like you're melting into your chair can also crank up the fear factor?
That's exactly what they found. It really challenges the idea of ASMR as this universal relaxation tool. It seems context is key.
Okay, so this changes things. If I'm already feeling stressed choosing the wrong Eller, ASMR could actually backfire on me. Like instead of calming down, I'll just end up even more on edge.
That's the takeaway here. This study suggests that being mindful of both the type of ASMR you're choosing and your current emotional state is super important.
Right.
It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just about finding a video with a soothing voice and some good crinkling. I need to be picky and really pay attention to the overall vibe and how I'm feeling before I hit play.
Exactly. And this study actually uncovered another fascinating tidbit.
Yeah.
The researchers found a possible link between ASMR and something called frisson.
Frisson? Is that a fancy word for ASMR?
Not quite. Frisson is that feeling of chills or goosebumps you get often when listening to music.
Okay.
You know, when a song gives you those chills down your spine?
Yeah, like when a guitar solo just hits you in the right way.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that this study suggests that ASMR and frisson might be more closely related than we thought, potentially tapping into a similar mechanism in our brains.
Ah.
They might both be tapping into this deep-seated response to certain sensory stimuli that can trigger these intense physical and emotional reactions.
That's wild. It's like our brains are wired for these moments of sensory pleasure and excitement, whether it's from a perfectly timed musical note or the sound of someone whispering softly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked brain scans, we've talked amplified emotions, and now frisson, this deep dive is full of surprises. What else can you tell us about what makes ASMR tick?
There's still so much to uncover, but I think these two studies really highlight how multifaceted ASMR is. It's
Yeah.
not just a one-size-fits-all relaxation tool. It's a complex sensory experience that interacts with our brains and bodies in fascinating ways.
That's a great point. So for those of you listening who are already ASMR fans, awesome. Keep doing what works for you.
Absolutely.
But for anyone curious to try it out, it seems like being a little choosy is key. Don't just go for the first video with 1 million views.
Absolutely. Pay attention to those specific triggers. Is it the whispering, the tapping, the crinkling you enjoy? Consider the overall vibe of the video. Are you looking for something calming and cozy or something more upbeat and playful? And maybe even take a moment to check in with your own emotional state before hitting play.
Great advice. And remember, if you find yourself getting more stressed out than blissed out, it's totally okay to switch it up and try a different ASMR experience.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works best for you.
Right.
This research just gives us a new lens through which to understand and appreciate this fascinating phenomenon.
It really does. So we've learned that ASMR might have its own unique way of interacting with our brains, especially those regions linked to pleasure, relaxation, and even social connection. And we've discovered that context matters. ASMR isn't a magic relaxation button, but can actually amplify whatever we're already feeling.
Yeah.
But this deep dive has uncovered more than just facts. It's sparked a whole new set of questions.
It always seems to happen that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The more we learn, the more we realize there's even more to discover.
Exactly. And that's what makes these deep dives so much fun. But before we wrap things up, I have to ask.
Yeah.
If ASMR can amplify our emotions, for better or for worse, could it ever be used in like a therapeutic setting? Could we harness that power to help people process and regulate their emotions in a safe and controlled way?
That's a fantastic question, and one that researchers are only just beginning to explore.
Yeah.
Could ASMR, with the right priming and guidance, help someone face their fears in a gradual, controlled way?
Right.
Could it enhance certain therapeutic techniques like mindfulness or meditation?
Yeah.
Or could it be harmful if used inappropriately? These are all important questions that deserve further investigation.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities, right? And it just goes to show there's a lot more to ASMR than meets the eye, or should I say the ear.
Right.
It's not just about tingling sensations and whispering voices. It's a window into the complex workings of our brains and our emotions.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's a fascinating field with a lot of exciting research ahead.
Absolutely. A huge thanks to expert speaker for taking us on this journey into the world of ASMR.
Of course. Happy to be here.
And thank you, our listeners, for joining us on another deep dive.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
We'll catch you next time when we explore. Okay, you'll just have to tune in to find out.